The search for Shabby Chic staples led Mark Colson to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where he acquired a mix of both large and small items. Revitalizing these flea market finds with signature Shabby Chic touches presented more of a challenge in some cases than in others.
Now, what's this lock business here,
You know
do you
what,
think?
I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. It seems to me this was added after the fact. I mean, it sort of has that
It's an obscure
look to
place
it,
to put a lock.
I mean, but it's a really heavy-duty lock. But the thing I do know about this piece is it came out of a mental hospital.
Oh, that would be why
So
that's
maybe
there.
there was medicine or something in there.
But wouldn't you think that if somebody really wanted to get something out, they'd just break the glass?
There you go.
That's bizarre. That's very strange.
That was turn-of-the-century thinking. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't think that far ahead.
Opting to replace the heavy lock with a pane of glass, Rachel determines that a coat of paint should be the only other improvement to the cabinet. Smaller pieces like this hanging cabinet can have several uses. Rachel sees it as both a bathroom medicine cabinet and a hallway end piece.
I love this little bit of green here, like the accents of this.
Okay.
It does seem to be peeling off a little bit too much. Can you just kind of, with some light sandpaper, just take the top layer of that off?
Sure. Don't
And then-
repaint it.
Don't repaint it,
Okay.
no. And can you put some kind of veneer thing over it just so it holds what's
Sure.
left there?
Yeah.
Mark, this is another great buy that you got, again, because
Really
we don't
simple.
have to paint it.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing that, you know, if you have a small space or an area that you just can't accommodate something big,
Right.
this can just slip in there. Do you know what the history is of these little tiny pieces?
I'm not sure. They're called chimney cabinets.
Oh, they are?
You know, just from the look of them, they look, you know, it's about the same size as a chimney.
Do all these latches work fine?
This one looks like it's having a bit of a problem, eh?
Can you fix it though?
I believe I can.
Okay.
If not, I can change it out very easily, and we're not gonna compromise the piece at all.
Although I do love this particular
Right.
thing, so if you can salvage it, that would be great. I'm assuming if this is a bit gammy, that's what this is for, maybe?
Yeah, probably so. And we'll eliminate this.
Yeah.
Following Rachel's instructions, Mark replaces the hardware on the otherwise functional chimney cabinet.
This latch is a little bit different than the other one, and so I'm going to have to cover this area up. That's not going to be a big problem. I can sand that down just a tiny bit and touch it up, paint over it. So this lock, or this latch, is going to be around in this area. I'm going to have to drill a few new holes, small holes, just so I don't split the wood, and that's going to look great.
Transforming the glass cabinet requires several steps. After removing the cumbersome lock, Mark must install a fresh pane of glass.
What I'm going to do now is, and once I get the caulking out of there, which is actually going to be a little bit time-consuming, I'm going to put a piece of molding on the inside of this piece, which is going to hold my glass in place. I chose this molding that actually coincides with the molding that I found on the outside. It's in the spirit of the piece. It's just a little bit off, and I think that's going to look great on the inside of that.
An intact piece, the hanging cabinet requires little work.
I'm going to put a coat of this all over the piece just because sometimes varathane or polyurethane or whatever has a tendency to yellow just a tiny bit, and so if it does, I want there to be a uniform color throughout the entire thing.
Used to display soaps and porcelain saucers, this hanging cabinet retains its charming imperfections, yet looks much fresher after a cleaning and a coat of varnish.
Even the mirror itself, again, it's got a few imperfections, but nothing that we can't live with. Can still see our faces in there. And the door pull as well is just lovely, porcelain, a little bit of paint on it. But all in all, I just love this piece, and I think it was a really good find.
With a new latch and one less hook, this chimney cabinet serves many purposes.
And as you can see here, again, because it's in my store, I'm using it to store some of my chair pads here, but a wonderful, useful item can be tucked away in a bathroom with towels, or go into a kitchen with pots and pans, or even as like a little mini pantry. So once again, this is just a useful size.
One of the more challenging Ann Arbor finds, this glass cabinet still retains elements of its history.
It had that kind of strange lock that was up here, even though it's a glass-fronted cabinet. Never quite worked out that purpose. But certainly, he got rid of it, replaced the glass, and once again, like the fact that he left the evidence that there was something that went on here before, just adds character. Most of the time, nobody would even be aware of it, but I just like the fact that it was there. So what was so great for me about Mark's trip to Ann Arbor was really the whole combination of the different types of items that Mark found, and also some of them needed to be painted, some of them we were able to keep their original paint, and just all the nice little qualities, accent pieces, big pieces, some pieces that we certainly needed to use our imagination, but just across the board, just a really nice collection.